Hey guys, I'm Cora. This is a collaboration between myself and Corkleaf. We've put together a midday movement break for you. So if you've been sitting at the computer all day or you're at work and you need to release wrist and shoulder tension or tension in your neck, this is the perfect way to do it. You won't need anything other than a yoga mat. Let's get started. So if you're wearing any heavy jewelry, you might want to take that off. We'll release the wrists, and sometimes that can get in the way. So when you come onto all fours, start in your normal tabletop position with your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Now we do want to sync this movement with the breath, so engage your full deep Ujjayi breath. On an inhale, shift your weight forward so that your shoulders start to drift past your fingertips, but be gentle. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back to your starting position. Keep the core engaged. On an in-breath, shift your weight forward. And on an out-breath, bring it back. Try to keep your elbows straight. And even though this looks like a pretty minute movement, it can be quite challenging, so don't rush it. Once you're back in your starting position, turn your wrists to face in, or your fingers to face in rather, so that your wrists are still underneath your shoulders. Again, keep your elbows straight. On an exhale breath, lean to the right so that you get a stretch through your left wrist. And then inhale back through to center, and exhale, lean to the left. And then inhale back to center, exhale to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale to the left. Now this time when you come back to center, turn your fingers to face your knees. This one can be pretty challenging. So if this feels like it's too much, the way to make it less intense is to bring your hands closer to your knees. If you're up for a little bit of intensity and your wrists allow it and they feel good, hands under the shoulders will be quite nice. From here, take a full inhale breath. Then as you exhale, just draw your sit bones towards your heels. Again, it might not be a very big movement, so don't force it. Inhale back through to center. And exhale, sit bones back towards your heels. And we'll just do that one more time. So inhale, come back to center. And exhale, sit bones back towards your heels. From here, come back to your starting position. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and then bring your knees together. Just sit back onto your heels for a moment and shake your wrists out. So after you've been on your wrists for so long, you might want to make a few circles with them or even flick your fingers. Sometimes that can be quite nice to release the wrists even further. So good if you've spent some time on the computer to do that with your wrists. From here, come into your first down dog. So hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Now, down dog can be really therapeutic for calming the nervous system, especially after looking at a computer screen for so long. So we'll stay here for a couple of breaths, but feel free to stretch out through your feet, especially if you've been wearing some type of shoe, really any type of shoe. This will feel pretty good, just pedaling the feet back and forth. Now from here, once you've settled into your down dog, pick up your right leg and send it straight back behind you. As mindfully as you can, step the right foot forward towards your right thumb. See if you can do it silently. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not. Once you're here, wiggle the left foot back a little bit and then bring your left knee down to the floor. Untuck your left toes and press down into the top of your left foot. Ground into your right heel, make sure that your right leg is switched on, and left fingertips directly underneath your left shoulder. From there, on an inhale breath, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now we want the belly to be engaged here, so hug your belly in and up and then rotate from the shoulder so that you're really opening through the right side of the chest. Just take one more in breath. Then as you exhale, place your right hand back down on the floor. Readjust your palms so they're underneath your shoulders and step back to down dog. Tuck the left toes under, bring your right foot back beside your left. And let's just pause here for a breath. Settle yourself, full breath in. Full breath out. And then pick up the left leg, send it straight back behind you. Again, moving with intention. Step your left foot forward between your hands, maybe even with no sound. And then drop the right knee down onto the floor. Wiggle the right knee back about an inch or two and press down into the top of the right foot. Adjust your right fingers so that they're directly underneath your shoulders and hug the belly and engage the legs, lift the left arm. And again, we want the belly to be switched on here, so this isn't sloppy. And then really open through the left shoulder, maybe even take your gaze up. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, place your left hand back down on the floor, palms underneath your shoulders, tuck your right toes under, lift the back knee, and step back, downward facing dog. And again, you might want just to pedal your feet out a little bit, stretch through your legs, whatever feels good in your body. And then on your next inhale breath, come forward into plank. And plank is one of those poses that you might want to adjust. So you could have your knees down on the floor. You could even do this on your forearms if your wrist feels sensitive. Take a full breath in. Then as you exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the mat with control. So we want to use the belly, use the shoulders here. Once you're all the way down onto your belly, place your hands onto the floor beside your mat. And then come up onto your fingertips, just the way you did in your lunge. Push down into your feet, hug the belly in, and then reach your chest forward. This is all back strength. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, lower yourself back down. You can even bring your forehead to touch the earth. And on an in-breath, peel your chest up away from the mat. Maybe push a little bit into your fingers if your low back feels cool with that. And as you exhale, bring yourself back down. And let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now this time, once you're here, take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers so that your thumbs are on your sacrum. Lift the fronts of your shoulders away from the floor and squeeze your elbows in. If your shoulders are healthy, reach your knuckles back behind you. Now for some of you, it might feel okay in the low back to be here, and if that's the case, you could point your toes and lift your feet. If that feels a bit awkward or tender, keep your feet grounded. Take one more in-breath. As you exhale, lower yourself back down. Hands under your shoulders. On an inhale, press yourself up onto all fours. And as you exhale, sit yourself back on your heels. If sitting on your heels is not comfy for you, you could sit on your butt, right? Totally fine. From here, reach your arms out wide, and then swing your right arm underneath your left. Cross at your elbows, and if it allows, you can cross at your wrists as well. Now draw your shoulder blades down your back, lift your elbows up, and reach your thumbs forward away from your face. And close your eyes and settle into yourself here. Now as you hold your arms in this position, see if you can take a few deeper breaths into the back of your heart space. And gently open your eyes. Reach your arms out wide again. We'll do the other side. So left arm underneath the right, cross at the elbows, maybe at the wrists. And then once again, shoulders down, but elbows up, thumbs forward. Close your eyes and again, take your awareness in. Notice what's going on inside of your body. And see if you can slow your breath a little bit more. And then slowly open your eyes, reach your arms out, just place your hands back down on your knees. If it's uncomfortable to sit like this, it doesn't really matter, you can sit a different way. Start by reaching your left arm out to the left. We're just going to release the neck a little bit. And you could do this anytime. You could do it at your desk. Move the left shoulder back in space and then turn the left palm to face behind you. From here, take the back of the left hand onto your sacrum. What we're trying to avoid is a rounded spine and the left shoulder slumping forward. So make sure you keep that back in its socket. And then from here, just slowly, slowly lower your right ear towards your right shoulder and see if you can draw your chin in towards your chest. And we'll just take a breath or two here, but really you could hold this a lot longer if you have the time. Now on an inhale, bring your head back up to center. Release that left hand, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So right arm out to the right. Hug your right shoulder back into its socket. Turn the right palm to face behind you and take the back of your right hand onto your sacrum. Make sure that your belly is switched on and you're sitting up nice and tall. And then super slow, lower your left ear to your left shoulder. And see what it's like to draw your chin in a little bit towards your chest, and notice if that changes things at all. And when you take this time for yourself in the middle of your day to reconnect with your body, not only will you feel better, but your work will be of a better quality, right? It'll be more intuitive, more connected. And on an inhale, come back up. And release that hand. Bring yourself forward into down dog again. You've been sitting on your heels probably for a while, so stretch out through your feet. From here, you can tuck your toes under, lift your butt up towards the ceiling, maybe pedal your feet back and forth a little bit. And then find your favorite way to come down to lying on your back. Who knows what that is? It could be fun to try jumping through to sit, but if that doesn't work, you know what, who cares? Once you're lying down though, make sure you've got enough room to reach your arms out wide to the side with the back of your hands on the floor, palms facing up. And get comfortable, enjoy having the floor support you. And then take your knees into your chest, squeeze your knees together, and as you exhale, slowly lower your knees to the right and turn your gaze, look to the left. And I would suggest you close your eyes here, as long as you feel comfortable with that. Oftentimes during the workday, the eyes can be pretty strained, right? Especially if you're looking at a screen like most of us do. And take a few deeper breaths into the sides of your body. And engage your core. On an in-breath, bring your legs back up to center. Keep the knees together if you can on the way down, and let your knees come over to the left. And turn your gaze, look to the right. And let yourself soften into this shape. You can fully trust that the earth will support you. And the only thing that you need to do here is breathe and be present. On an inhale, core engaged. Bring your legs back up. Hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe even like to grab opposite elbows and lift your forehead up and hug everything in super tight. And then as you exhale, release your legs and get as comfy as you can for Shavasana. Don't skip this. So make sure that you take at least a minute or two just to rest. Once you're here, feel free to shift and fidget in whatever way you like so that you actually feel at ease. Once you are at ease, take a fuller than normal breath in. And open mouth, let go. And just for this next minute, give yourself the gift of rest, right? The rest of your workday will take care of itself as long as you take care of you. And if you can, you could stay here longer. 5 minutes would be a good amount of time. But if you must, start to bring some movement back into your body. Maybe even reach Reach your arms up overhead and take a stretch. And then roll onto one side. And when you get there, pause. Don't rush this transition. And when you're ready on an inhale, bring yourself up to sit and keep your eyes closed if you can. Once you're seated, press your hands together in front of your heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself the gift of movement during your day. Time to slow down and reconnect with what really matters. Namaste.